Going live, and you are live.
Looking at you live.
You are live. Turn this shit down. Share these links. Welcome, everybody. If you are ready to win some money, go ahead and leave a comment in the comments section. Any questions that you have for our big brains, feel free to ask. We will attempt to help you out and answer as quickly and as best as we can.
Yep.
On this beautiful Sunday.
We're going to give you some Robin Williams Goodwill Hunting advice, but with DFS.
Fanduel only, because we all know
that's where it's at.
All right. Tweet is out. Facebook posted. No, I don't want to go ahead. I don't want to register to vote right now. Facebook.
It only asks you 50 million times a day. Are you sure you aren't registered? Are you sure?
Yeah, we're good on that, man. I don't need your help there, Zuck, to get registered to vote.
Yeah.
All right, man. I know it's 11 in the morning, but it's an NFL Sunday, so you're allowed to drink 2 beers before noon. And get loose if you're
no law.
And get loose if you're giving people the tools they need.
Look at that.
To win stacks of cash.
He lives on Fanduel.
To win stacks of cash. Okay, boys, we're gonna go ahead and start. You ready?
Let's do it. Let's go. I'm pumped.
All right. Welcome back to Dunkman's and Jake Hahn's Blue Collar DFS Week 4 action. Let's keep the heat coming your way. Fanduel main slate breakdown, as always, as we do. Every week I start off with the games that I like, and nothing's going to be different this week. This week we have the Browns at Cowboys -4.5 with a 56.5 over-under. That is the highest over-under on the main slate there at Fanduel and in the NFL, I guess. Below that, we have the Saints -3 at the Lions with the 54.5 over-under. Then right below that is Seahawks -5.5 at the Dolphins, 54.5 over-under. I guess those are the same. And 1 point below the 54 is Vikings at Texans -3.5, 53.5 over-under. As I was looking at this week's slates and over-unders and all that stuff, it's all getting close, dude. It's starting to week 4, 5, 6 is when the pricing start getting right.
Right.
Your values are kind of starting to go away.
Yeah, things are becoming predictable.
Yeah. So, people are kind of getting a feel of everything. And it's, and if just betting over-unders, the overs have been on fire this year.
Yeah.
They've been hitting more than the unders have. So a lot of points out there in the fantasy world, which is always good. And if you are the same kind of gentleman as we are, degenerate, lineup making bastards that we are. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the quarterback position. I always try to tell you that a couple at the top, which I'm just going to start sketching his name. He's going to be the most expensive every week, but he's just always going to be on my list, I think, because his games are always in the over-unders because the defense is kind of tough and he always has to keep him in it. But Russell Wilson at $9,000.
Absolutely. And I was going to preach it too. You know what? Don't go cheap on QB. I mean, especially when the top few are Jackson, Wilson. I mean, these guys are running for MVP. Don't go cheap on. Everybody and their brother's going to have them in their lineup.
I mean, Wilson is throwing four touchdowns a week and maybe running in one and having 300 yards and 60 yards rushing. It's insane, dude. He's having an MVP year. I did spend up on QB in some, but there are some lower price QBs that I have an eye on. And right below Russ, this guy is becoming a feature too, because he's in kind of the same boat. He's not as good, obviously, but Dak Prescott, 8,200.
That's what I got too.
I mean, he's right there too. And that's that same Browns Cowboys 56.5 over under. It's at Dallas. So I have a feeling he always plays better at home.
And their defense is not doing well. He has to play constantly from behind. It seems like he has to throw downfield. So, I mean, at that price, it's great. Like you said, I mean, he's really balling right now. He's connecting well.
He's got a good little core too, and
He
I
does.
mean, and you got obviously Zeke that can just still
right
fall in the end zone 3 times and
Yeah.
steal all of his thunder. But I mean, that's why I got him a little below Russell, and that's probably why he's priced a little below Russell. But and below that, the cheap options. These are the cheap guys that I eyed up this week. Ryan Fitzpatrick is $7,100, dude. And he's going against the Seahawks at home. That's a 54.5 over under. It's like the second highest on the day. They're minus 5.5 dogs last time I looked. I think it might be 6 now. He's going to be slinging it, dude. He might have a pick or two, but he could throw for 3 and a couple picks and like 400 yards. Like he's equipped to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're wanting to like really fill in your lineup with some expensive players, that's a good buy right there.
And then below him is the opposite of Dak, Baker Mayfield, $7,000.
Yeah, I like Baker too in this game.
I mean, it's like I said, it's the highest over under on the day. They're minus 4.5 dogs. They're plus 4.5. And if they get down, it's tough to play him, dude. He's looked rough a little bit, but I feel like today they could go down to Dallas and maybe have a little shootout.
He's looked pretty solid. I mean, like I feel like he's kind of getting his touch a little bit, and it could be because of who he's been playing. But you get a little bit of confidence in Bake, he gets going. So I mean, I like him against this Dallas defense. So I mean, they're like I said, they're struggling.
The secondary for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, like they don't have a lot of their big guys that they usually count on for the turnovers. But yeah, I like Bake, man. I mean, for a cheap option, definitely Baker.
Like I was telling you earlier, I hit pretty big last night on the UFC fights, and I went a little over on my lineups this week. I made like 4 or 5 different ones, and those 4 quarterbacks are in every single one.
No, I pretty much, I mean, we have pretty much the same lineup. I have, like I said, don't go cheap. I'm not going cheap at QB. I got Wilson and Jackson as my top QBs. They're going against, some. I don't think Washington's defense is a bad defense. It's just that their offense is so bad. By the way, I am sorry that I didn't tell you to bet on Dwayne Haskins, but I gave him as an option. I'm not going to do that the rest of the year. I'm telling you right now. I thought he was going to be completely different this season. Nope, I was wrong. I'm never betting on that guy again this year. But yeah, but like I was saying, though, I got Wilson as my top guy. He is just everything that you want. I mean, he's a pocket QB now, and he used to be like the mobile QB, and he still is, but now he's throwing, these perfect deep passes. And he's got DK and he's got Lockett. I love Russell Wilson.
Tons of weapons, dude. And like he can roll out and look to take off. But the thing about him, kind of the difference between him and Jackson rolls out, he's gone. Wilson is looking to pass until he can't and has to run.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah, and I love Prescott, like Dunkman here. He's got at a good price. I mean, he's not cheap, but I like him playing from behind. I don't think this is going to be a blowout by any means against Cleveland. I think it's going to be kind of a game. So definitely liking Prescott. And my kind of cheap option, who's not necessarily cheap, but I like him. I like Tom Brady with a price of $7,300. I feel like he's starting to connect with his targets a lot better. And
Godwin's out again, right?
I think so. I think so. But he's got Mike Evans still. He's got Gronk. I mean,
is he ever going to get Gronk going?
I know he started to a little bit last week, but I don't think it matters with Brady. If Brady sees a target, he's going to throw it to him. So, I mean, I just think Brady's getting, he's getting a little bit, more comfortable in the situation. And I like him against, the only thing I worry about is that Chargers defensive line he goes against. And I think that could be the factor. But, I mean, yeah, those are my QBs, though, this week.
I like it, man. I like it. Moving on to the running back position. Right there at the top, Zeke for 9,000. He's in that high over under. You throw a Fitzpatrick or a Baker Mayfield, which is on the other side of that over under. It's going to be pretty easy to get to Zeke, but I'm going to spend 200 less if I'm paying up and I'm going to play Alvin Kamara.
Yes.
8,800. He looks so fucking good this year.
He has to be in your lineup.
And no Michael Thomas. Breeze can't go downfield, it looks like.
Yeah.
The only thing you could worry about is Latavius Murray could snipe goal line, tutties. That's always an option. But I'm going with him if I'm spending up at running back. Below that, David Johnson at 6,700. He's in that 53.5 over under against the Vikings. We've talked about their run defense.
Yeah, and they need the Houston.
They're desperate.
Yeah, they're in a position where it's time for them to win, and they need to use all their options, especially David Johnson.
They've had 3 tough matchups here.
Yeah,
at the beginning of the year,
they've been getting a good beating here lately, and they've had a tough schedule, but
for sure,
I don't give a shit.
And then just kind of cheap contrary option. This guy seems timeless right now, but the Lions are in a 54.5 over under in a -3 game against the Saints. Adrian Peterson's like 5,500, and it looks like they're going to give him. He's getting tons of touches.
Yeah, he's running hard too. The dude don't let up. He's like Frank Gore, you know what I mean? But just he keeps going, and the Lions like him. They brought him in. I honestly thought he was just going to be a depth signing, and he's so far become their lead rollback. So
if I would have told you at the beginning of the year, week 4, the Saints would go into Detroit, and they would be only at -3. You would have thought I was nuts.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Crazy.
I still can't believe that line. It's a trap line, I think.
It is.
That's what I got there at running back.
Okay, well, I obviously have Kamara in my lineup. If you don't, you're not playing fantasy football. The guy looks he's the Alvin Kamara that we know, and he looks even better.
With no Michael Thomas, dude, then targets in the passing game. He's getting tons of looks, dude. Like I said, Drew Brees can't throw the ball over 20 yards.
He's catching the ball. He's running over people. He just looks like your all-around back. If McCaffrey wasn't hurt this season, it would be like a run between them two, but he is the guy this year. As for my next option, I'm going to wait till this truck goes by. As my next option, Robinson with the Jaguars at a price of 6,600. I like this guy. I think he's good. I think he's talented. I've been saying his name from week 1. I didn't know who he was on week 1, but I had a feeling that they got rid of Fournette for a guy they thought was good. And this guy is talented, and he is like their workhorse. They run him. They run the hell out of him. And he's going against Cincinnati Bengals defense this week.
My Josh, my neighbor who was yelling at us, he texted me first thing this morning and said Jacksonville's running back's going to go off. He said our defensive tackles are out, and our middle linebacker is out today.
Yep, I like him. It's a good matchup for him, and he's getting a lot of points. I definitely like Robinson's play this week. And then I've got a few flex options for you here. I like Singletary with the Bills against Las Vegas. He's starting to get more into the rotation with Josh Allen, so he's starting to get he's getting hot, and I like him at a price of 6,000. And Davis for the Panthers is a good flex option, 6,300. He's filling in the role for McCaffrey right now, and he's getting everything McCaffrey would have gotten. And I like Hyde with the Seahawks at 5,700 because he's everybody's hurt right now.
Is Carson hurt?
I think he was, but
banged up a little bit or something.
But that is like a cheap flex option though. So
for sure,
you don't have to go that route.
If you're playing Kamara and you're spending up at quarterback, you need a couple of those around there,
right? So. But definitely like Robinson, Kamara, and I like Singletary a lot. So
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right, going to the receiver position right there at the top for me. I got Tyler Lockett 7,500, DK Metcalf 6,900.
Those are my top two too.
I got them right there together.
Yeah.
And then right below them, I have Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup right there together, 7,100 and 5,900. Those are those two big over-unders. that we both were talking about previously.
Yeah.
And if we think the quarterbacks are going off, then obviously we think that receiving core is going to be getting some love spread around. So
that's exactly I got Lockett, Metcalf, Gallup, and the only one we have different this week is I got Keenan Allen in there because he's getting a lot of targets with Herbert. So
yeah, I don't have Keenan Allen. I have Odell Beckham at 6,600. They're in that over under game against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And I feel like he got his going a little bit last week. If they could kind of open up the run and get the play action going and just get Baker comfortable, like we were talking about. Odell, when he gets targets and gets the ball, he makes stuff happen, man.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, this is also another confidence thing for Baker. Like when you feel like you can throw the ball downfield and not get picked off, then yeah, he's going to start throwing to Odell a lot more. You know what I mean? But I think I'm going to have Lockett and Metcalf in my lineup every week until they show me they don't have anything at all. I mean, these guys are just on fire right now with Wilson, and I mean, everybody's connecting well. And I love Gallup at his price, 5,900. I mean, he's the same price every week, and I mean, I'm okay with it because
I think CC gets some action there too.
Yeah,
the rookie,
absolutely. But I like Gallup because he's like their big target for the red zone. So I mean, like he's always the downfield guy, and he gets touchdowns. So I like Gallup.
I also have Devontae Parker at 6,500 for the Dolphins. In that, also another high over-under game against the Seahawks where I think they're going to be passing and going down the field. So, like, if you want to get some of these high people, throw a Fitzpatrick and a Devontae Parker stack out there.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are going to do that.
No. But you're right, though. I mean, if you want to be a little bit different than everybody else, that's a good back. Yeah, it's a good stack. So,
and then last, this is my reach. It's probably going to be my budget buster, too. 5,300 with Michael Thomas out. We said how we love Kamara and all that. Traquan Smith is only $5,300, dude.
Yeah,
and he's like a big target. Mm-hmm. He gets all that slant action that Michael Thomas would normally get whenever he's out. So I mean, for 5,300, you're looking at possibly 6, 7, 8 targets. And if he gets loose and breaks one,
absolutely.
That's a tournament winning play right there.
Absolutely. Yep, I like that. Yeah, I mean, and I had Keenan Allen in my lineup, like I said earlier. I just think Herbert's kind of counting on him to be there for him. Like he's you throw it to Keenan Allen, he's going to catch it. So I just like his targets.
I noticed last week, Keenan Allen, he looks like The Game.
Yeah.
The rapper of The Game?
Yeah.
He
does look like him.
They're like doppelgangers, whatever you call it. But yeah, go ahead.
That's all I got for receiver though.
So once again, we're kind of teaming up here and having pretty much the same picks. I love that our formula. I love how our brains are working together. Tight end, I have one name, dude. Mike Gesicki. Gesicki.
Okay.
Is that how you say it? Mike Gesicki?
I have no clue how you say his name, honestly.
Dolphins tight end. He's 5,700 on Fanduel. And once again, right back up to the Seahawks Dolphins over under, which is like the second highest on the day. I just see Fitz magic getting loose, and I see some tutties coming. I see him throwing 4 today.
Yeah, no, that's a good prediction. So I mean, Fitzpatrick's playing well too,
and he always plays good at home in Miami. And the weather's a little warm. You got to think Seattle's flying all the way from up there to down there, and
they're not running the ball either. They're not really running the ball at all. I mean, they got Gaskins that he's like their lead back right now, but like the Dolphins run game has like killed anybody that's in fantasy sports that was like counting on Jordan Howard and Breida because those guys aren't even in.
Dude, Fitzmagic is the master too of being down 14 points and just throwing for 300, 400 yards and still losing the game.
Yeah. No, he's playing like a starting quarterback this year, so I give him credit for that.
But there you go, man. What else? What do you have there? It's tight end. That's the only name I have.
I don't like the tight end group this week, but of course you need some options. You can go Mark Andrews as your top of option. He's expensive, but
I just never put those because I'd never spend up a tight end.
I mean, and I don't like that either. He's their like number one receiver, but Lamar Jackson is so unpredictable about who he throws to that I don't even like taking his options because I don't know who he's going to throw it to.
I mean, he might not even throw it.
Exactly.
First and goal at the 10, he's going to go ahead and run it in there.
Yeah, and you can go Darren Waller. I think that could be a safe pickup. But I'm going to say it again. I like Mo Alley-Cox. I do.
I love Mo, dude.
Trey Burton got activated this week, but I'm not scared about that. Jack Doyle was activated last week, and he played, and he didn't get any targets. And Mo is the guy. They're playing Chicago's defense this week, and I don't think Jonathan Taylor's a good play against that run defense. They got a good defensive line, going against a good offensive line, but I just don't think they're going to run the ball very much against them.
I feel like this is going to be a battle, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. And
you got low scoring.
You got Mac pressuring Rivers, off the edge, and I think Mo's going to be the biggest target, a quick target at that. And if they can get in the red zone, I think he's going to be the number one guy. Michael Pittman's out with an injury. And their receivers are kind of lacking. Like they're counting on Zach Pascal right now to kind of step up. But now I like Mo Alley-Cox at 5,300 still. I think it's a good option. And for my cheap, another guy that this is kind of a repeat too is Schultz for the Dallas Cowboys at 4,900. He's just another target because Prescott likes to throw the ball around and he has his options open. So I like Schultz at 4,900, and that's what I got.
Cheap options, man.
Yeah,
that helps you get there.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your lineup? I changed it from lock or whatever. We're gonna call it the lineup first of the week. So like the first guy that you're locking in any lineup that you make. Mine is Alvin Kamara at 8,800.
Mine was too. Yeah, I mean that was the first guy when I set up my line. All my lines this week, I made sure to put him in first. I mean, you have to have him in there. And as for my defenses, I put in. I like the Rams against the Giants this week at a price of 4,800, and I kind of like the Jags against Cincinnati at 3,700. So. I know our stance on defenses, and I mean those are just a couple of options you may want to look at if you got the if they fit into your lineups the way they do.
See, I always me, I always do the whatever money left, and it always gave me the Texans. It was always kind of where I was at. All my stuff.
Yeah,
and they're at home against the Vikings. They can slow down that run, which they got a really good run defense. They can kind of slow down Cook. I know the over-under's high, but hopefully some points come from the pick six.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, man.
But that's where I was at on D. Defense is so hard. I'm not going to waste. Like, I feel like I don't want to handicap my other positions to spend up at defenses. Like, I've always been that way.
Right. No, it's a smart move. If you can get the Rams against the Giants, because I think it fits in well with a good. I mean, I set up all my lineups and they were kind of like the top available. They could be a big scoring defense this week against that Giants offense. For sure. So,
and who's your budget buster?
I would say it's got to be Gallup. I love Gallup at 5,900. I mean, the dude's been scoring every week. I try to make sure to put him in my lineup every week just because he's cheap and I can put more expensive guys in the lineup with him being a points guy. I mean, he gets those points for me. So I like Gallup.
My budget buster is Ryan Fitzpatrick at 7,100.
Yeah.
You can spend down at 7,100 at quarterback and get a guy like if you spend down on him and then you can get like your Alvin Kamara and your Lockett's and all your big name guys that you want in at other spots, and he puts up 300, 3 tutties, and number 2 quarterback or whatever on the day. Like you're going to be sitting pretty in them tournaments.
Yeah, if you want to get all your expensive skill guys in, definitely Fitzpatrick's a good buy.
I love it, man. Team him up there with Parker. Parker's really cheap too at 65 for a receiver, and have yourself a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's gonna bring us to the end here. Thanks for joining us. Let's have a Sunday and continue winning some greenbacks. What do you say?
Yeah, let's win some cash, boys. Happy Sunday.
Once again, tweet us your lineups if you're on Twitter. Tell a friend. These guys have won me money. Tell your friends that these guys have won me money, and you are the way that this thing grows. All the guys out there, you watching this right now. And we appreciate all the love and feedback of
Yep.
people saying that we're winning them cash. It feels good to wake up on Monday to some tweets and
it does. Yeah.
stuff
So,
like that.
I mean, if you feel that way, hit us up. If you don't, I guess obviously, you can hit us up.
Yeah,
if
you can
want,
give us the smoke too. We'll take both.
Yeah, we'll take both. But no, we hope this is going to be a winning weekend for you. So
yeah, I mean it's definitely something that we're passionate about and love doing. It feels great when you reach out. So we love to hear from you every time you do. At Dunkman42 on Twitter, I'll be watching football all day, Red Zone, Colts, football, everything. So hit me up. Jake, how did I get a hold of you?
Hahn Nation, guys. You hit me up anytime too on Twitter. I'm on Twitter for football all the time. So, yep, hit me up there.
Got any parting words?
Let's just win some cash, guys. I'm loving this every week. So I won some money last week. So let's win some more money this week.
Let's get lit.
Let's go.
Let's win that million.
Yeah,
no
doubt.
I say if we win the million, I will give away. If I win the $1 million tournament, I will give away $50,000.
Oh shit! I hope you win the million. I want to be that guy you give that 50 grand to.
50 grand. But all right, man. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. We'll see you later. Hit us up. Peace.
50
grand.